I am fired up about today's session. You know, there are many times I'm in here with you and we are talking about deeper feelings and emotional concepts and perspective. And today is just hardcore tactical feedback around probably the number one question I get when it comes to health goals, fitness obstacles, stubborn weight loss, and the personal judgment that follows. And so this is about falling off the wagon. That's what we call it. I don't know. I've never seen this wagon. I don't know who named this process a wagon, but this is about falling off the wagon. And we have all done it. Not once, not twice, but over and over and over again. And thank goodness, because we are creatures of adaptation. We are creatures that learn by trying and doing and failing and adjusting. That's what adaptation means. Look at evolution. We got to where we are because we were failing as we were, and there were adaptations that were made to our species that arrived us where we are, with these brains and these bodies and these energy systems. I want you to make the comparison of your learning, your quote, falling off the wagon, which can look like, I was on a workout streak, Jen. I was doing so good. And then ... I had a vacation. My child got sick. I got sick. I went through a breakup, fill in the blank. And then you weren't working out. And then you were eating poorly. And then you got off your track. You got off your system. Or another really easy one is, I'm just tired. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of food prep. I'm sick of preparing everything. I'm sick of being always on the ball for everything I need to do. That's still okay, right? So if you maybe that's not a fall off, maybe that's I'm stepping off the wagon. I need a break, and that's okay too. But I want you to assimilate that to when you watch a kid practice cartwheels. It's one of the cutest dang things. I mean, listen, if you're having a bad day, go to like in a non-creepy way, to like a kid's gymnastics class, like 4 and 5-year-olds, adorable. But think about how they fling their legs over, like reckless abandon. They're going for it. And they're constantly not doing a cartwheel. I mean, do you ever see a kid do a cartwheel over and over? Hey, watch. Hey, mom, watch. Hey, dad, watch. Whatever. You're like, yeah, that's not a cartwheel. And yet there's a smile on their face and there's grass stains on their knees and they're just going and going and going. That's you right now. Literally, you listening to this conversation right now is identical to a little cute kid trying to make a cartwheel happen. Because the more you do something, the more you can feel, the more you kind of arrange your mind, your body, like your day around the task, right? So for that kid, the task is like, can I just get this cartwheel to be landed on my feet? For you, you're like, can I just get like through a day where I get good food in my body and water and I maybe sweat and that like I don't yell at somebody that I like and like, can I survive a day? That's the task. And what starts to happen, and we've talked about comparison on this podcast before, but what starts to happen, we start to look at what everybody else is doing. You're like, wait a second, how come they're getting it? They haven't come off the wagon in a while. What's their deal? What do they do? And we start to get swooped up. We start to get away from what is our own custom learning curve, what is unique to us, what's needed for our DNA mentally is somehow distracted because you're watching somebody else. You're watching what they're doing. And all it's going to do is paralyze you and make you feel somehow inadequate, which nothing like taking steam out of your desire to do more than feeling inadequate. Man, the things we say to ourselves are the most deflating. And so I wrote down a little mini list of things that I want you to use when you're in that fall off the wagon. These are the things I want you to use when you're in that fall off the wagon phase. Okay? Number 1, keep your eyes on your own paper. This is the same as being in school. And instead of learning stuff for yourself, you look over at the page and you look at the desk next to you, you look at the answers next to you, and you just copy those answers. You're not learning, you're just copying. What I cannot have you do is copy someone's behavior, because ultimately you have not learned why that behavior is important. You have not learned the system for yourself, and therefore you will not sustain it. You have no idea how many times that other person has fallen off the wagon, how many other reps that person has done. You do not know what they've gone through to find that answer, and you're just going to borrow it. You know, Sarah's been walking 5 miles a day, and that's what I'm going to do. No. Don't copy her answer. Find yours. Again, the custom learning curve for you comes from you trying, falling off, failing, getting back on. Guys, the cool thing about the wagon, we always let you back up here. It's not exclusive. We love repeaters because we're all repeaters, okay? So number one, get your eyes on your own paper. Learn it for yourself so you can earn it for yourself, okay? That's number one. Number two, be excited for failure. When you're failing, it means you're pushing the limits of what you thought was possible for you. For a long time in my career, I see people operating on assumptions, operating on maybes, operating on the misinformation that we sell ourselves. If you're failing, dude, you know you're in it. I love this. This could mean, I don't think I could run a mile. I'm going to try. It's going to be embarrassing. I'm going to go slow. I'm going to have like a mini heart attack. Let's see what I can do. Great. Go see. And what's probably going to happen is you're going to be able to finish the mile. And you're like, oh, I did better than I thought I could. That's pretty neat. Cool. Right? Same thing with like going to a dinner and you're like, I'm not going to drink tonight. I'm not going to do it. And every other time you've tried not to do it, you always fail, right? You always end up drinking. It's okay. Find out why. Maybe the failure tells you, I really need this social time. I really like the cocktail. It's a big part of my happiness. It's a big part of my relationships. I want to keep going. Fantastic. So that failure tells you that's something you don't want to cut out because you're going to be miserable. Why don't you let's cut corners somewhere else. There's plenty of ways to change the dynamics of your training and your food and your stress levels. They're going to make alcohol in your diet just totally fine. Okay? So be excited for your failure. Okay? When you see it, be excited because you're pushing yourself. And the most important one here, number 3, I want you to remove negative self-talk. What ultimately gets us in danger is ourselves. What would you say to somebody you care about? If someone you know was working toward a goal, really excited about something, and kind of kept stumbling and kept falling off the wagon, what would you say to them? I propose the new golden rule, right? What's the old one? Treat others as you want to be treated. I say, treat yourself as you would treat others. Treat yourself like you would treat others. I'm talking to myself all the time, you guys. People probably see me around like where I live and think, is she okay? I talk to myself in public. I talk to myself in the mirror every morning. If I feel like off base, I'm like, Jenny, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're funny, you're special. Go get them. Just as powerful as that turns my heart around, so do the negative words. When I tell myself I'm nothing, I'm stupid. You're single for a reason, right? You're too emotional. You're too intense. Cutting words. Because you're not there to defend yourself. Falling off the wagon is cartwheels. That's number 1. Remember that. And the 3 things you have to keep in mind. 1, keep your eyes on your own paper. 2, be excited when you hit failure. because it means you're pushing your boundaries, and it means that the limits that you thought were there are no longer there. And the only way you know that is if you find that failure. And number 3, remove the negative self-talk. Treat yourself the way you would treat others. I would love you guys, as you listen to this, send me a message on social media, send me a message in my private app, tell me how this is going, and we'll kind of go forward together. Thanks for hanging with us and for being a part of our world. Be sure to head over to our website, smallthingsincommon.com, and subscribe. But don't worry, we're not going to flood your inbox. We just want to keep you up to date with new episode releases and fun perks for being loyal listeners. Okay, bye.